Hi, in the last session we saw how can we use the online office. Microsoft has provided office functionality over the web. To access that functionality, we simply need to log into their Windows Live page. If we have Hotmail or Windows Live account, we can log in, and once we log in, we land to this page where we can access our emails, we can see our messenger contacts, we can upload and share photos with everyone else, and here is the office link, so we can create office documents. If I go to this office page, it will show me all my existing office documents, and from here I can manage these documents. I can manage the access of these documents to other friends or colleagues, and I can create new document as well. In the last session we saw how can we create Word document and how can we set different font and formatting details, and can insert different objects like images and tables and these kind of things into Word document. Today we will create an Excel document and we'll see how can we do different kind of things in the Excel document. So from here, new Excel workbook, or from here you can create a new Excel document. So once you click on this, it will open up a new page and will ask the name of the document. Okay, so say in your, if you want to keep a record of different vehicles at your office, and you want to manage the expenses, what kind of expenses are going on for these different kinds of vehicles, for example their MOT details, MOT expenses, road tax and road tax expenses, and their service details and other general or miscellaneous expenses, and you want to um, apply formula, so the calculation is done at the end, and Excel automatically does add all the expenses for each vehicle at the end of the year and show you what is the overall expenses for all of the fleet. So we can say vehicle expenses dot xlx is the file name. This is saved. It will save and open up a new sheet. In Excel document we have different sheets, and each sheet consists of rows and columns. So it's like a tabular form, and within these rows and columns it's kind of two-dimensional. We can add data. For example, we can set this way we have columns and this way we have rows, so it's up to us how we want to add the data. For example, over here I will say vehicle registration number. Okay, and in the next column I want to say add some other notes. Okay, now you can see this text is going to the next column, so you simply go and say wrap text. Okay, so now this whole text is coming into this column, and over here we can add some other say details or some notes, and here we can say MOT, and over here we can say road tax, and here we can add any other expenses, say service expenses, and then in the next column any other say miscellaneous expenses, or and you can add as many columns as you want this way. And then these are the say column headings. Then in the rows below we will add the data. For example, say I have the first vehicle is AB12 CBY, and details you can put any details just to identify which one is this, and say MOT was done at this cost, the road tax cost was say this much, and other Miscellaneous expenses, in fact we added service here and miscellaneous here. So say service was done for this much amount, and then in miscellaneous 800 was spent on different minor things. Okay, then this column, if you want to do the total of all the expenses, so you say the total automatically shows. One way is you manually add all these expenses and then write it in there. There is an automatic way, and that is you apply the formula. So to apply the formula, you select the cell where you are going to apply the formula, and you put equal sign, and then there is a formula called SUM. You can see once you write this equal sign and press something like S, all the formulas that Excel has got in it, they all, the list shows up, and then you can apply any of these formulas. Okay, so you can see on this side it also gives small description of each formula. So this will give you an idea of what this formula does. So what we are going to do, we are going to apply this formula, which is sum, and description adds all the numbers in a range of cells. Okay, so we can give a range of cell within this formula. Now I will say which cells or which numbers to add. Okay, now I need to add MOT, road tax, service and miscellaneous. So MOT cell is C3. So when I selected this, I can type in here directly C3, and uh, then I can put this comma and I can say C4. If I only have two cells, I can say C3 and C4. So it will add two C3 and C4. But I want to add E and F as well. So then I have to give a range. To give a range, what I can do, I will just select all of these ranges and it will automatically populate here. So it says range is C3 to F3. So C3, D3, E3 and F3. So C3 to F3, then I will close this bracket and press enter. Now it has calculated automatically for all of this and the sum is showing up here. Okay, now we add the detail of next vehicle. Say VB23 BBC, and give details here and expenses here. Okay, now we give the details of another vehicle, GF34. Okay, now we add the details of another vehicle, VGT, and expenses here. I'm just putting random numbers, but obviously when you are managing it properly, you will put the real numbers in it. Now we have to put the formula into these columns as well. So over here it shows up all the expenses of this, and over here it shows all the expenses of this row. Now one way is we type in again. The other way is I select this cell because I want to put the similar formula here, and then when I bring my mouse in this corner at the right bottom, it shows me this plus sign. When this plus sign shows up, I simply press my left mouse button and drag it down. You see, it is, I'm not dragging it down. So what it will do, it will apply similar formula on these cells as well. Now if I select this cell, I can see the formula details here. Sum of C4 to F4. Now this is C4 to, and this is F4. So this is the sum of all these cells from here to here. And over here this is the sum of C5 to F5. So this is C5, D5, E5 and F5, and this is the sum of all these points. Now you can add as many vehicles as here, and it will just go on. And say over here you want to calculate the total expenses, or say once you are done, say you have a three rows, and then you want to add the total here, total cost here, and over here what we see, we will simply add equal to sum of and we want to know sum of this cell and this cell. Now this is the sum of all the expenses of all the vehicles. This is the sum of all the expenses of this vehicle, and this one, the sum of this row is here, and the sum of this row is here, and this one is the sum of all the vehicles of this year, or the way you are managing it. And you can know add graphs as well, to if you want to analyze, like if you have so many expenses and you need to know where the more expenses are going on. So what you can go insert, and there are different kind of graphs. So say if you want to insert the pie graph, you can insert the pie graph, and what it will do, it will see, it will bring you different colors. Now MOT, if you want to check, this is the total expense on this side, and then on this side it has divided the areas where the sum. Now we see the miscellaneous is this blue one, and we see this is the larger area, and we can check the more expenses are in this area. Then after that it is this color, which is the services, like the services of the vehicles are costing more, then road tax, and at the end MOT. So this one gives a quick overview, like MOT is the less expense of all the other expenses, and in the miscellaneous section we are spending more than any other expenses. Okay, so these graphs are really helpful, they give you an idea. You can add graphs, and if you want to insert column type of graphs, you can add column types of graphs as well. So over here this also gives like over here what it has shown these vehicles with a different color, like AB1 to CBY is this color, then this one is red, this one is green, and total cost is this. Okay, so now it shows with the, like this green one costs more in MOT here, and again in road tax it costs more, then again in services the green one costs more, and in miscellaneous this blue vehicle costs more. And when we add in total, this blue one is the vehicle which is AB1 to CBY is the vehicle where we spent more money than other one, than the green one and the red one, and on this red one we spent the less money. So these graphs are helpful, and once you have data in your Excel sheet, you can add graphs, and they give you quick overview of these kind of expenses. So all kind of this kind of data can be managed using these Excel spreadsheets. If you, this is one sheet, and over here you can see the sheet name, and you can rename this sheet name over here as well. For example, expense details, and if in this sheet you can add some other, manage something else, in this sheet you can manage something else, and you can add more sheets. You can add as many worksheets as you want within the same one document. And then you can do formatting. For example, in our first, these are the columns headings. So if we want to make them bold, change their color, or change their font or size, we can do that. So these are the formatting details. It's same standard formatting details, they are same in Excel, PowerPoint, Word, all the office areas. And similarly these are the numbers. If you want to, registration number, we want to make them bold, then this is the column, we can make it bold as well. Okay, so you can add this kind of data, and you can use your way. This is just a very simple example. Then you can apply sorting. For example, if you want to sort this data on this column, you select the column and apply the sorting. So it will sort the data based on that. Here is, you can sort ascending, sort descending, you see. So there are so many options that you can do with it. You can insert tables, and then you can merge these cells as well, and then you can format your way. So you can play with it and you will see all these kind of different things. Then you can save as, share with others, download a copy. Remember I mentioned in the last session, like the advantage of having all these documents on the online is like all our documents are saved on the web. So wherever we have the access to internet, we can access these documents, we can modify them, view them, print them. We don't need any software or any other thing on a computer in our office or at home to access these documents. Simply log on to the web and then access these documents, and these documents can be shared across many users and we can control their access. Once we share, like we can give somebody read only access or give somebody an access so that he can modify as well. And if somebody is modifying this document, it is again saved at the same one location. It's not like there are many versions of the same document having different contents after some time. The contents are at central one place and they are managed at the one place. So there are many advantages. Once we are done with it, and if in case we need to download a copy of it, say if somebody want to download a copy, you can go and download a copy to the local machine as well. And then at the end we can close. And in the next session we will see either how can we create the presentation, or we will see how can we deal with different kind of documents. Like obviously when you're working in office or for your business, you have so many documents and they need to be organized. For example, you want to keep the documents of one client at a separate place, and you want to organize other kind of documents in a different folder. So we will see how what are the management options in here and how can we organize our documents into different folders or locations. So see you in the next section.